right, let's get into this. Good morning again, everybody. Tatam Scott Nawa Kakyo. I wish you all a good morning and a good day. I'm doing a podcast today with some of the young ladies in our 7 Gen crew. I think for starters, we'll do a little introduction, a little roundtable. So I think with that, question number one, can each of you introduce yourselves and share what made you want to join the 7 Gen live streaming program? So whoever wants to go first could go ahead.
I think you should go first.
Okay. Hello. Good morning. My name is Alexi Bull. I have joined the crew I think in the end of August and I've been here since. But yeah, what made me want to join the crew was how it was introduced to me. Like, because on Facebook I was just scrolling and then I see the pop-up karaoke and I was like, hey, I want to go sing. And then I even tried to invite Aisha over.
Yeah, but I was just
And then, like, yeah, after I sang and whatnot, that's when Mitch Lewis came up to me and then asked me if, like, I had any free time to come and join. So I did. And it's probably the best decision I've made so far this year.
Awesome. Who's next? Sadie.
Yeah. Good morning. My name is Sadie Stanley. I worked as a summer student, but kind of took a month or two off, and I saw Brian at police forum on the 17th of September. He asked me if I wanted to join back. And I thought about it for a month, and I joined back. I just really want to do something for the community. Yeah, be part of the community.
Yeah. Aisha.
Hello, everybody. My name is Aisha Bull. I joined the 7 Generation podcast like towards the beginning of September or the middle of it. Alexi invited me out to come to a pop-up karaoke, like she said, but I didn't show up. And then she asked me if I wanted to work, and I did want to work, so I came in, and that was around the Treaty Day gathering. And what made me want to be a part of a program is how they all worked as a team and how they all made it happen. And I really admired that. I wanted to be a part of it. And so I wasn't expecting to come in and stay for a long time, but I did. And here we are now. And I don't regret it one bit. It was probably the best decision I've ever made. And I'm thankful that you invited me on here. Well, yeah.
Yeah, deadly. Yeah, so next question. Can you share a moment during one of our live streams or events that really stood out to you? So just really quick, ladies, this rule of thumb, try to speak close to the mic just for the viewers out there. Yeah, just something I learned along the way, because a lot of times volume is an issue, so just kind of speak close just so they could hear out there. So back to the question, can you share a moment during one of our live streams or events that really stood out to you?
What really stood up to me was very recently. I think it was like last week or this week. I can't tell, but it was when everybody was talking about addictions and telling their story, their testimony. And that really stuck with me because it hits close to home. And I could resonate in some type of way as an outsider perspective. And I thought it was very beautiful to share your story, even though it's a part of you. And some people may think, well, not may think, but be ashamed of who they are. And yeah, that really stuck with me. And that whole time when I was there, I was listening to everybody's story and it was beautiful. And I feel like one of these days I can tell mine.
Deadly. We'll come back to that. Who wants to go next?
a moment in time where it stood out to me is probably honestly yesterday. Yesterday was our first event that we held all together without Brian or Mitch, and we come a long way to be able to set up all by ourselves and to host an event by ourselves and to run it smoothly. That felt good, and that just like shows that we can work together. I really like the diversity in our crew. A lot of us are different, but we all combine it together, and it just works out. It's beautiful. Yeah.
Deadly. Sadie.
Something that really sticks out to me is working with the youth at the high school. A lot of them lately have been asking how they get into the job I'm in, and yeah, I just want to be there for the youth. That's the thing.
So
Deadly. So going back to yesterday, maybe yeah, I'd like to come back to that. But I think for now we'll just keep going through these questions. I think it'll capture just a lot of the history and the beginning of where like how everything went since you guys jumped on board with this program, and the evolution of all that, and then the way things are looking forward. I really like what you guys just said. I didn't know you guys did all that yesterday. It's really good to hear because things are getting really busy with us. We have a new leadership now, so I think the vision will shift a little bit. Not a whole lot. But yeah, I had to do a report the other day for our new leadership, and there was a question in there that asked about the challenges that we're facing right now within our departments. And one of them for us that I kind of touched on was the need for more like skilled staff or like team members. So in other words, being able to do what you just said, being able to set up to all the stuff, from A to B and set it all up and run a production. And like you just said too, like Mitch and Brian were kind of our guys this whole time with all of that. So yeah, to hear something like that really makes me happy because I think it will allow us to do more in the community. Not only that, but I kind of rely on those two guys a lot for this program. Not just live streaming, but community events, labor work, all that kind of stuff. So I can't really utilize them when they're needed out there. But by the sounds of it, I'll be able to use one or two of them a little bit more now that you guys could do the live streaming stuff. So yeah, it's really good to hear that. So but going to the next question. What have you learned since becoming a part of this team about media, leadership, and even about yourself?
I learned that it goes by fast. Everything that we do runs at a fast pace, and we have to stay on top of that, especially through media. It taught me to be more organized and to be on standby at all times. Something about myself that it taught me was that I have a lot of personality, and I like to express it. And doing that through 7th Gen, it gave me a place to do that, and I really appreciate that. I've always been an outgoing person, so having that space to come and be that way, it feels really good. So yeah.
Yeah. Sadie or Alexi, same question. What have you learned since becoming a part of the team about media, leadership, or even about yourself?
For me, I learned about medias, how to keep people entertained, how to work the tech and everything, what people want and don't want. You know, leadership. I learned how to kind of put myself out there more and talk more. And myself, I learned that I really like working with the tech stuff in the community. Try to be involved.
Awesome. Alexia?
What I learned about the equipment about working here is that I feel like it could be used as a stepping stone because this is something similar that I'm going to school for. What I'm going to school for is production and audio.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
So like I want to learn how to produce my own music, and that's the long-term goal. And eventually when I get that down, I'll come back, and my dreams are to have my own studio, something like this, but which involves music. And something that I learned about leadership is that it could be difficult sometimes, but it's easy when you make everyone feel welcome, when you socialize with everybody, when you love one another. So there, I really enjoy working here. I've learned a lot about myself. I learned that I can be a very social person. I learned that I love laughing, and I love being surrounded by people that know how to laugh. And nothing's too serious. But again, we can be serious if we wanted to when the time's right.
Mhm. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I like that. I'm really enjoying this episode. Just for the viewers out there, the young ladies in here, since they jumped on with our program, and they kind of touched on this too, but like I've seen a lot of growth and a lot of progress with these young ladies in the past few months. When we started, I think it's a natural thing, like a natural process that we all go through. I went through it in the beginning. Usually in the beginning it's I think the barrier to entry is really high in terms of like your own self-confidence, your self-awareness. One of the things I had to battle with was like being shy and being self-conscious and um, feeling inadequate. I think especially because like for myself, it's kind of funny how I ended up doing what I'm doing right now and in this field. It's not something I went to school for. I don't have any formal training in this. I don't have any formal education in this field. It's just something that kind of an opportunity that presented itself by like the luck of the draw. It's not something that was intentional or planned. It was just kind of trying to find some traction somewhere and just taking multiple shots in different directions and seeing what would stick. And it just happened to be like this, what the program that we're in right now. Originally, the original idea was just the studio we're in right now. That's as far as my vision went with this whole program. And when I was trying to build the studio and the equipment and trying to get everything to work, like I one thing I always say, like I'm not a tech person. Like I don't think I'm that type of person to like understand all the equipment we're working with. My tech experience went as far as a cell phone, and that was it. And then like I said, like luck of the draw, There was a program being offered in Saskatoon from IOPS. It was in broadcasting, podcasting, live streaming, play-by-play commentary, and so I signed up for that. And the whole intention with that in the beginning was to try and meet the owner of IOPS. I didn't know who he was. And my whole intention was to sign up in that program was to meet him and to ask him for help with getting this studio started. And so I signed up, and then he called me back, and he told me he had to cancel the workshop. So we started talking, and just kind of touching base, and he started asking a bunch of questions like, where are you from, what are you up to, what are you working on, what are you trying to do? And I told, and that was perfect for me because it allowed me to get to the point, I guess, of saying that I was actually really trying to meet you and trying to invite you to Onion Lake and help help me get this thing off the ground. And so he agreed to that. So he showed up here one day, and that's kind of how it all started. And he got us to this point. We did our first episode over a year ago, and he said why don't you get a second set of equipment and start a mobile live streaming? You could do your Canada Day, your powwow, your hockey games, your community events in Onion Lake. And I kind of like it was never a thought in my mind. And one of the big reasons for that is because, like I said, like I'm not a tech person. So all the equipment that you guys work with, like last night you said you guys set it all up by yourselves. I didn't know about any of that stuff. I had no understanding of it. And so it was never an idea in my mind. And he recommended the idea. So I said, okay, let's do it. And then he said, I'll train you for it. And I said, okay. So sure enough, he ordered the gear. And then we did the sports day last year was our first one. That's where I brought Brian on. I kind of tricked him a little bit. I said, hey, let's go watch the races. I'll pick you up. He said, yeah. So I picked him up and we went over there. We went behind the grandstand. And I said, hey, I have someone I want to introduce you to. His name's Nathan. So Nathan and Brian met and they had the headsets that we're wearing, or no, the mobile ones. And then Nathan's like, here, throw these on you guys. So he put the headsets on us, and Brian's like, what's going on? Like, what are we doing? It kind of like blindsided him. And so he put it on. Me and him started chatting, and I said, I gotta go grab something in the truck. Just keep going. So he said, okay. So I stepped out, and it was just him on the screen, and he was kind of just yapping away there. And that's kind of how it started for him. So yeah, just a little bit of history, but I understand what you guys are saying. Like in the beginning, it's hard and it's nerve-wracking and it's intimidating. And just for the viewers out there, especially women and ladies and girls, like the young ladies here said, I think this is a good starting point to kind of challenge yourself and help yourself kind of put yourself in uncomfortable situations and learn to navigate yourself out of them or through them and to overcome them and to just keep doing it day after day after day, and allow it to help you to blossom or discover yourself. So that's what I'm hearing when I'm talking to the young ladies here. And yeah, it's something that was a part of the original vision anyway. So, like youth empowerment or young people, giving the young people a voice. And like you guys said, like the diversity, the personalities in our crew, just like a pot of soup. You just kind of throw everything in there and, see how it blends together. And um yeah, I think I'm just really proud of you guys. I'm really proud of our whole crew, Brian and Mitch and everybody, and you guys and Tyler and Randall, the young guys, Tyrell and them. um it I think we're doing a lot for the community events. A lot of the like requests that come to this office from leadership or senior admin. Can you guys go do this? Can you guys do this? Or can you get this done? I think so far we've been able to accommodate every request that came our way, just with the size of our crew. And like you guys said, like the different personalities that are here, being able to work together and like carry our own weight, I guess. So yeah, just something I want to mention. I think you guys have a lot to be proud of. So I think with that, we'll go to the next question. What's been the biggest challenge so far, and how did you push through it?
Within 7th gen,
Yeah.
um, I think the biggest challenge for me, um, would be knowing like how to lead this, like how to go about our podcast and how to like what message we want to send out there, how we want to approach people with the upbringings of 7th gen. Because we don't like it's kind of like media is kind of scary, it's like if you say the wrong thing, you get canceled, things like that. So we don't want to say the wrong things, and I think that's the biggest challenge is not stepping on people's toes and stuff and watching what we say. I think that's a big one for me.
Yeah.
For me, it's just time management. Because like some days we work till like 9, even later, and then the next day we got to be up early by 8. And it's just, but yeah, I think that's just the biggest challenge for me so far. I like sleeping.
I heard. Sadie.
The biggest challenge probably for me was coming out of my shell, speaking more on camera and everything. Yeah, just talking more. I'm not really much of a talker, but challenge was I have to talk on stream sometimes and do podcasts. And with that, I'm slowly starting to talk more and come out of my shell, build more confidence.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. Right on. How do you balance your home life and being a part of this media program?
There's no balance. Just kidding.
I know what you guys mean because I've been there. Yeah. So I get it. Everything you guys say and feel, I get it.
You want to go first?
You can go first.
For me, with my home life, I have a daughter, so and I keep her full time. She goes to visit her dad sometimes, whatnot, but most of the time I have her, and sometimes she comes into work with me. She's been on a podcast or two with us, but that's what I admire about the crew is that like things like that we can work through, and like it's really feels comfortable and like we don't have nothing to hide, and like if we are going through a problem, like we can bring it up with the crew and we can work through that together, and that's what I like about it. That's what makes it feel, I don't know, like almost like home. Like it's like a family. We're all one big family, and that helps a lot. It's like a place to go when home life isn't good. It feels better, and yeah, I just I try to keep that, like Lexi says, not balanced, but we work through it, and then it stays at a good level. Yeah.
It's good. Next. Paper, scissors, rock.
Rock.
For me, I feel like I have to find that balance in between work and my personal life because I'm also juggling school in there too. So it's like, but so far I've been liking it. Like what Aisha said, it's home away from home because like we all get along so well together. There's no conflict, nothing like that. And it's just, I like being around people that laugh. That's one thing I look forward to work.
Right.
It's like we can just, it's not that serious, but it could be serious. And it's just fun. I like it. I look forward to coming to work every day.
Right on.
For me, there's like not really much balance, but I live with my gugum and my 2 nephews and niece, and whenever I'm not there, my gugum's taking care of them. Whenever my gugum's not there, I'm taking care of them. Long hours and everything, but it's all worth it in the end.
Can I just say something?
Yep.
As
Yeah, totally.
I just wanted to thank all my family out there because they do help me with my daughter a lot. When I'm at work or when I have important things to do, they come in clutch and they help me. And not only that, within the crew, like when I have busy times, like some like Lexi or somebody will come in like and distract her for a couple seconds. I'm just really thankful that everybody like helps with that. I appreciate it so much. And like to have her to be able to come into work sometimes and it not being a problem, that like I was scared for that at the beginning, and like I know there's limits to that, so I try to be careful, but like when there's times where I actually have no sitter, it's like it's good that I appreciate that it's a welcoming place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right on. I just want to say, like with the whole time management and the schedule and the long day and long hours, like I get that 100%. Like I said, like I've been through it, but I just want to say though that, yeah, like even for me right now, it's something I think everybody, all of us, like it's something we all have to learn, I guess, to manage our time and our schedule and stuff, and finding balance with our home life. Like to me, it feels like I'm still working till 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night. I still get phone calls and emails and people still wanting things done. Trying to juggle all that with my baby too. She's 4 years old. And trying to be there for her as much as I can, and also for the community. And like, yeah, so I understand. I get it, the long hours and stuff, especially being out in the field. And yeah, I'm really glad to have all you guys, Brian and Mitch especially, kind of, taking care of you guys, making sure you guys are all good. You guys are fed, and then, just little things like that. But yeah, things for me kind of shifted a little bit, like now that my role kind of changed a little bit with this whole thing. For me, like I'm trying to stay, a few steps ahead of everybody else on what's coming, or trying to set things up to keep the program busy. making sure we're in alignment, I guess, with the overall vision, making sure that other programs and departments that their announcements are being heard, their messages are being heard. So trying to line up those kind of things for you guys. Um but yeah, and I'm really lucky that I have my mom for my baby. My mom is on short-term leave for work right now, so she has the time for my baby. She um like she's trying to steal her from me. And my baby, yeah, like they just love each other, My baby would rather be with her kugum than with me or with anybody else. So that's a little battle I I have with her, which is a really huge blessing. It really helps. It allows me to get work done that needs to be done with this program. um, but yeah, again, like I just want to say, you guys are doing really awesome work. I see the hours you guys are putting in. I see you guys coming to my place late at night with the equipment, coming to drop it off like last night. Yeah, and like yeah, it's crazy like the work you guys are doing. And like I tried telling Mitch and Brian to kind of chill out a little bit. But yeah, it seems like all you guys love to work, and it doesn't feel like work. And yeah, like, and I don't want to take that away from anybody. I don't want to say, okay, like shut it down, that's whatever. To me it's optional for you guys. Like if you guys want to do it, like I'm cool with it, because deep down I'm the same way. Like if I was still out in the field, I think that's how I was and that's how I'd be. Like I would grind to the end and make sure the job gets done no matter how long it takes. There was times where I didn't get home till 2 in the morning, 1 in the morning, midnight, just to make sure that like the job is getting done. So yeah, like I get it. I get the long hours. The thing that surprises me the most with you guys is the next morning, like you guys are back at the house 8 in the morning, 9 in the morning, ready to go again. And I'm like, what the heck, man? Like they're all hardcore.
Hardcore crew.
Yeah, but no, it's cool though. Yeah, like I said, like there's no pressure. I want you guys to know that. Like I don't have any expectations or demands, to be at work. I want you guys to be at work because you want to be at work and because it's a choice that you made and nobody's forcing you. So as long as that's in place, then to me it's all good. I would like to do whatever I can to support you guys on this journey and to make sure you guys are comfortable and you guys are, happy just along the way with the whole growing process. So I just want you guys to know that.
Thank you.
Mhm.
A lot.
Yeah.
Mhm. I just wanted to say thank you for providing us the opportunity to work here. There's a lot of us that have different input of how it affected our lives in a good way.
How it impacted him.
Yeah. And like, I don't know, ever since I started working here, I felt like I've grown so much as a person. Then it's given me so much opportunities with this, with work, with working here.
Mhm.
And I really appreciated it. And I felt like I haven't been able to say thank you yet.
Yeah, same with me. we were talking about that, how we haven't been able to give you our thanks because you did give us a chance to speak up, a place to have a voice, and it feels like we're being heard, and that's something like really meaningful to us because in this generation and time, not a lot of women are heard. So to have this place to come and speak, it's like really empowering. And the same way for me, like 7 Gen impacted my life so much that it made me want to be a better person. Like having this platform and wanting to lead a good way in a good way. Because in the past I was like a really angry person. Like I didn't know how to go about myself and to be into becoming better. But I knew I always wanted to be a part of something that makes a change. And this is exactly that. And like now that I have that space to be in that area, it like made me be like wanting to be a better person, to grow and to heal through things that I didn't want to heal through before. And it feels good. It feels like I matured a lot over time, even such a short amount of time, just because I wanted to have a good figure, a social media figure, and yeah, that's how it felt. It feels good.
Mhm. Yeah, right on. Good to hear. Okay. Yeah, no, totally. Like I respect that and I appreciate that. And I've always known that, like yeah, like it's not something I expect or anything, but like it's cool, it's good to you guys could share something like that. It's cool and I think it's good for the viewers. And yeah, like everything you guys just said right now, I've noticed that with our whole crew. Tyler, like I was just chatting with him out here just before we came live here. He's come a long way. Brian, like everybody. Tyrell, I remember Tyrell was on the radio side here. And I pulled him in here one day and I said, "Hey, you want to go check out the live streaming side of things?" And he was kind of reluctant at first, but eventually I kind of talked him into it. And he hasn't been back here since. He'd rather be over there. But yeah, no, it's cool. It's I'm glad to hear that. I think that's kind of part of the vision with this program is just to be able to provide a space for people to discover themselves. At the end of the day, like it's you guys doing all the work and you guys discovering yourselves and stuff. So
And
yeah.
like you said, you having like not having any demands for us or having like expecting a lot from us, it really shows you like what we bring to the table because you're not expecting that. And that, I think that's why we're so open to having ideas and whatnot, and like showing that we want to be here, is because like you give us that space to be ourselves. And yeah, it goes a long way. So thank you for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we'll get to the next question. When you think about being a young woman from Onion Lake, what does it mean to be a part of the program called 7Gen?
Represent.
Unless we touched on it already, we could move on to the next one. But yeah, I think the important part of this question is like being a young woman from Onion Lake. The next question kind of is related to this question, so I'll share the next question, and then you guys could just tie those two together. What message do you hope young girls in our community get when they see you behind the camera or on the mic? So two in one.
Mm.
What does it mean to be a young woman kind of leading the way for Onion Lake girls? because you guys are really like you guys are leading the way. Like this whole program is a brand new program. It's not something that we had in the community, not like this. So in reality, all of us, our whole crew, we're kind of trailblazing when it comes to media and cameras and working with all this kind of stuff on the daily. But I think the more important piece to highlight there is being a young woman in this space. And, you know, I know Mitch and the boys um are trying to get you guys going, trying to get the girls going, and you guys are already. You guys did a few episodes on your own. Um when I first seen that, the first episode, um I watched the whole thing. I was driving somewhere, unless I was in my office. I can't remember. But when you guys are live, I watch it here in my office when I'm doing the work I gotta do. I listen to what you guys are doing out there. But the first woman's podcast you guys did, yeah, it just made me really proud because I wasn't expecting that. Because like I said, like, and you guys said too, in the beginning it's nerve-wracking and it could be intimidating. So when you guys took that step and I was watching it, I was like really proud and kind of just cheering on my own for you guys, like, you know, just proud of you guys. So again, when you think about being a young woman from Onion Lake, um what does it mean to you to be in a space like this and kind of trailblazing? And also, what message do you hope young girls in our community get when they see you guys behind the camera or on the mic?
So for me, the message that we like want to put out there, or like, well, like that I coming from my end, um like that we're rising, that women in this generation are rising, and we have more places to be than we did before. That whatever we want to do, even if it's in a man's field, we can do it, and that perspective on it is changing, and we want to prove that change. We want to make sure that it's like out there, and coming into a space where it was just all men, and having having to like improve a lot, and having that improvement, it just like show, I don't know, it feels good, and that we're doing it. And I want young ladies out here to look up to us in a way where they want to do better too, like they want to have that confidence into a man's field, because in like so many generations we were just all had one place, and that was like a nurturing place, a place where we were just expected to be caregivers and whatnot. And as time goes on, that's expanding. It's like we have many more places to be. So yeah.
Awesome. Sadie or Alexi?
Um, well, could you read the question again?
Yeah. When you think about being a young woman from Onion Lake, what does it mean to be in a field like this? What message do you hope young girls in our community can get when they see you behind the camera or on the mic or at a community event?
What it means to me is that for the younger women out there is like be a voice for those who can't speak or don't speak. You know, show them that there's opportunity out there. If they want it, they can get it. It's just not gonna fall right in front of them. Yeah, I just want to represent the community on this, and the message from me for them is, you know, you can do anything you want. Agame Muk. Just gotta have your mind to it, the right mindset, Don't let anyone put you down. Just keep pushing forward through anything you go through. Keep positive.
Yeah.
I love that saying Akame Muk because I wanted to get that tattooed on me. It means to not give up, just keep going. And the message that I want to share out there is that take up space. Don't be afraid. Use your voice. Don't make yourself small for other people just so you can be heard or be seen. Be yourself. That's what I've learned. And I feel like a lot of people struggle with that, is learning how to be themselves in a public space, especially on media. But it's better than being fake.
Mhm.
Yeah. I love that. How do you think live streaming and media can help our community, especially our youth?
In today's time, a lot of the youth are on technology, so it kind of gives them that like us the opportunity to reach them through technology, through media. I think that. Sorry, I got brain fog. What was the question again?
How do you think live streaming and media
Oh, yeah.
can help our community, especially our youth?
And then with the community, I think just like broadcasting, live streaming a lot of events shows that we're there for them, for the community, and that we want to be a part of it. I think touching base with a lot of factors like mental health and addiction awareness, it brings light to the community that they'll be heard, and to change it, I think we can bring a lot of our culture back through media, because that's like what it is in the new time, is media a lot. And we always like it's scary because we are losing our language, we're losing our culture, and that's because a lot of people are on social media. So coming through and touching base with this way, I feel like it'll like say a lot more than just having events and things like that, because everybody's on social media nowadays. So yeah.
I don't thank you. Sadie or Alexi, same question. How do you think live streaming and media can help our community, especially our youth?
It could be used as a tool to reach people and to send a message out, to send the word out. And also it could be used as to inform people about what's happening within the community, especially the youth. There's a lot of people that aren't aware that there's so much events that go on within the community. Like last night, like say if you're just scrolling on Facebook and you come across that and you're like, hey, I didn't know this was happening. So what if there's a few people there last night that came to that event because they saw it on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we need to get together as a community. We need to celebrate, eat, anything. That's how we get closer with one another. Back in the day, we used to barter with each other. We used to trade things with our neighbors, and it's like now we barely even talk to each other.
That's so true.
Yeah, right on. Good one. Sadie.
I think with this broadcasting or live streaming, we could build trust with the people. Show them the things like with the election the other day. People were actually glad we live streamed that because they always felt it was so private, the counting ballots and everything. Show the community that we're there for them and just give them info on things they can't make it to because they don't have a ride or nothing. And for the youth, it feels like it's an opportunity for them to build their confidence. And after they're done with like high school or anything like that, they'll know that this is open. It'll be open to them.
Yeah. Right on. What skills or projects are you excited to learn or try next?
I think for me it would be to be speaking at events and to be interviewing, because I did do a couple interviews in the past, but improving that is big to me because I like doing that. I didn't realize that's one thing I figured out about myself, is because I was such a social person. I like to interview people and like having that place to do so, but wanting to improve. I'm excited for that little class we have for the
Mhm.
certificates. Learning to actually be like a production and to be certified. That'll be pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know, in interviewing and wanting to speak up because I've always had a loud voice. I've always like wanted to be heard in a way. And coming from my background, it's like I didn't come from a good family. Like I did come from a good family, but they had a lot of addictions, a lot of habits, and I've always wanted to have that place where I could um speak up and prove wrong of that generational trauma.
Mhm.
So that's where I wanted to touch base with that. And yeah.
Right on. Yeah, I just want to say something really quick. I noticed that on that panel, that mental health panel with Brian and them, when it came to the Q&A portion, me and my baby were watching that at home, and man, that was such an awesome event. And then they did the Q&A, and I think the first like 4 or 5 questions were from the crowd, but they were from like 7 Gen workers in the crowd.
Sitting in different places. Me and Lexi made a joke after we asked both our questions. We were like, we'll switch jackets and go sit in different places.
Yeah, I was telling Brian and Mitch, I was like, did you guys plan that or did that just happen? If it just happened, they didn't answer that. But if it just happened, in my mind, I was like, to me, it just showed how much you guys grown in this past little while. Because I know there was a time early on where, and like I said, it's something we all go through. I've been through this too. I don't think you guys would have asked those questions. You guys wouldn't have spoken up. But I think just from being a part of this program and putting in all these hours, I think naturally it'll grow your confidence. And that's what I seen that night. And the questions were like on point, and your guys' body language and your voice, you guys were confident asking your questions. And again, it made me proud again, like every day I'm real proud of you guys and our whole crew, just full of surprises every day. Because again, like going back to blazing, everything we do is all new. It's new territory every day. There's no trail before us that we're following. It's not something we've seen before. So every day is a surprise. And I think it's pretty cool to watch you guys just do what you guys do with the whole live streaming thing. So, but yeah, going back to those questions there, I was asking Mitch and Brian, like, did you guys plan that or what was that all about, man?
It wasn't planned, actually.
Yeah, I know that was cool though. But yeah, going back to this question, what skills or projects are you excited to learn or try next? Sadie or Alexi?
Something I would want to try and learn is how to socialize more. I do talk to people, but like to a limit. Because like I feel like my social battery dies real fast, and when it dies, I get quiet. So like something needs to change there. I think I need more sleep or but yeah, I would love to interview people and ask them different questions. That's something I would want to try and work on.
Just start singing when you run out of just break the ice.
You ever see that TikTok? He's like, "Good morning."
Is that the power one?
Yeah.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Sadie, same thing. What skills or projects are you excited to learn or try next?
Hmm. I'm excited to learn about all this tech and everything, the cameras. I love learning about those, but I'd really like to learn how to talk more and just keep conversations going with interviewees or just my coworkers and people in general.
Yeah. It's cool, man. I'm really glad you guys are saying interviewing because and that course too that you mentioned, the broadcasting course we're gonna be doing. I think that's gonna be like the next big area for our program when we're going, like when we're doing community events and hockey games and whatever. I think there'll be a little more emphasis for interviews, and I think young ladies, I think is perfect versus young guys. Like it could be either or. Um, but I think there's just more reception towards like a feminine energy to wanna open up and just talk about our thoughts and feelings, whether it's a hockey game or whatever it is, right? But yeah, it'd be cool to see you guys on the ground, and I know you guys have been doing that. I think we'll just kind of turn it up a little bit,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's cool. I love it. Love to hear that. um so where do you see this program and yourselves in 1 year from now?
I'll go first. So I was actually thinking about this like a couple days ago, about how much we're expanding, and I was questioning how we would be a year from now if we'd all be here. Because I know some of us are taking schooling and whatnot on different routes. But for me, this is somewhere where I'd want to expand my career in, and like making that change, being a part of it, and going so forth with it. I'm excited for that, and I see myself expanding through it. Like I said, like I see myself growing and through this program. With the program itself, a year from now, I think it's gonna reach a lot of people. I think that like not a lot of people trust us, especially like old folks, because it's new, like you said. And I think the more we grow, the more we go on, people will trust it and it'll become bigger. And I hope that we can go to more events in the future, not only within Onion Lake, but like say conferences, things like that. I hope we can do that. So yeah.
Right on. Sadie or Alexi, where do you see this program and yourselves in 1 year from now?
I hope to see more community members involved in this, more youth being involved. And I don't really see myself here a year from now. I plan to be in school by then.
We're not gonna let the
Tuition.
Alexi.
In a year from now, I feel like the podcast itself, there's gonna be a lot of growth within it, and a lot of people are gonna know who we are, what Onion Lake does, what Onion Lake is. That we have a Subway, hopefully a Tim
Yeah.
Hortons. But yeah, I feel like we're going up at a fast rate. We're doing a lot of things. We're always busy every day, and just imagine a year from now.
Mhm.
By then, hopefully, we'll have maybe 3, 4 crews. But hopefully, in the summertime, I'll be back.
Yeah. I think you will be.
You're leaving?
January.
Really?
Yeah.
To the city?
Mm-hmm.
Edmonton? Yeah.
All goes well.
Cool. Deadly. Um, Okay, so next question. If you could interview anyone on the 7 Gen team, who would it be and why?
You, because well, you were talking a bit about it in the beginning and how you started all this and how you weren't expecting for it to expand so much. And I wanted to kind of like touch into that because you gave so many people a good opportunity. You don't, and I don't know if you realize it or not, like how much, like you just created this open space where people can come and be themselves. And yeah, it's like really nice of you.
Yeah, cool. Um, yeah, I think I'd be open to that eventually. We'll figure out a plan somehow.
Mhm.
Alexi or Sadie. Maybe all you guys should interview me. Put me on the
on the girl podcast.
but yeah. So again, if you could interview anyone on the 7 Gen team, who would it be and why?
Mm. I feel like for me it would be Brian because he's a very knowledgeable, either Brian or Randall, maybe both, because both of them, they're their own people and they have a lot to bring to the table. For Brian, it's more of I, I want to talk about like how he overcame addictions and whatnot, and like how this job really impacted his life. And like, when I look at him, I wouldn't have figured the past. Like, he's such a how can I say this in a good way? A father figure.
Yeah.
And with Randall, he's a knowledge keeper. He's a storyteller. Same with him. I did like sometimes you just don't know what people have been through and how far they came. And like there's a lot of things that I would want to learn from the both of them.
Deadly. The boys, I podcasted with the boys, Tyrell and them last week, I think. And they said, asked them, how's everything out there and whatever. They said everything's good and we're enjoying it, yada yada yada. As long as we don't get Brian mad. Kind of like the mean uncle.
Or that time he was walking into the yesterday and we're not supposed to have drinks on the table. And then I was like, Brian's here, all the drinks off. Everybody goes to the table, grabs their drink. But that's discipline. It keeps us in strategic order. It's nice.
Yeah, I told Brian that he just starts laughing. Sadie, if you could interview anyone on the 7 Gen team, who would it be and why?
I'd probably choose Randall because, like Alexi said, someone could go through a lot of things and you won't know it, and he has a lot of knowledge on ceremonies and everything like that that I'd want to learn.
Yeah, deadly. Okay, that's all I have for these questions here, but there's some other kind of areas I wanted to touch on. If can we talk about the haunted house? How was that for you guys? Maybe educate the viewers on what they missed out on. Like I'm one of those people. I have been this whole time where I never attended that. Feeling too grown up about it. I didn't have my baby yet, and just like, no, that's for the kids kind of thing. But I went there this past year, like this couple of weeks ago. It's not for kids. I think it's for adults. I took my baby in there. She's 4 years old, and yeah, it was rank. But I know you guys were involved in there with decorating and being dressed up. What was that whole experience like for you guys? Do you have any cool memories that stick out? Did you guys freak people out? I know Brian said at the end there was a lot of kids coming out of there crying. It was rank, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll leave it at that.
There, in the back there when it first began, like, cause we had the back area of the rink, like where it was last ending, and me and Tyrell there were both dressed up as clowns, and I think that like people's kind of fear is clowns, and this for two of them to be there. And I was just giving out this wicked laugh, and I didn't even know it was in me until that night. um, Everyone is
Oh,
talking
yeah,
about it. They're just like, we thought it was a Bluetooth. It's just Aisha. And yeah, me and Tyrell made a girl just collapse and curl up.
Really?
Yeah, and he was like, okay. He like kind of backed off, and then she came in, and then there I was again, made her scared more. And then Tyron, he had like a scary mask on. He jumped out of the thing, and I was like, "Okay, guys, I think we're doing a little too much here. Tone it down a bit because we're just making kids cry, and I just feel bad."
It
Turn
was
down my
rank.
laugh a bit.
You guys?
Setting up, it was cold on that one side, like
Mhm.
literally.
All of us were cold.
There'd be times there's like just a real small little heater, and we'd just be standing there.
Huddle up, guys. And then, oh, but you can go on.
And then a lot of work was put into it. Like it took a lot, like literally like 12-hour days for 2 days, and we only had 2 days to set up. And I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
we had this whole time to set up, but it's always just real last minute.
Yeah.
But you
It
know,
was- yeah.
a lot of us came together to get that done and finished. And then I really like the spider room because a lot of Trinity was the one that did that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she had a good idea for a lot of things, and that spider room was like her main thing, and it was just like the most, like, what do you call it? Most
I would say
designed room or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
She put a lot of time and effort into it. It came out good.
Yeah. Sadie, were you in there?
Oh yeah, I was in there as at the back, the clown room. It was pretty fun. Me, Joseph, and Trinity were in there, but we'd hide in a corner and make it seem like no one was in there. And there's a door at the back, so they go to that door, and then when they go to that door, we'd slowly walk behind them. And I did that to this one girl, and she just turned around, stared at me, and just started crying. Felt real bad, so I let her out.
Yeah, man, you guys are right. Did you guys go through it?
No.
I did.
Yeah, only like see.
What did you think of that?
It was good. Well, like I would say, like if I took my wig off, but I first went to go get a drink of water and warm up because it was cold down there, and then I made my way, and then like there was a long line, so I was like, I'm working, so I got through, and then I was holding my mask, and then I was just with a group of people way at the back, and then like it was good. It was long though, like real lengthy all the way around their arena.
Yeah. Yeah, it was rank. Just for the viewers out there, if you're an adult or a teenager, I think we'd highly recommend checking it out. Well, me anyway, because I didn't know what to expect. Yeah, and like like I took my 4-year-old girl, right? Not knowing what to expect, I thought there would have been like Teletubbies and not killer clowns and stuff. But yeah, it was Drake, man. I think one of the first rooms there, just the screaming and it's something you gotta live ended. No. But yeah, it was good. Um, but anyway, so we but yeah, is something you got to check out. So anyway, I want to move on from that. Like, could we go back to the mental health panel? What were you guys' thoughts on that whole kind of thing?
I feel like we should bring more awareness to it, you know. We need to acknowledge those people that have gone through those struggles and, you know, they're still here. They came back because a lot of our people struggle with that, you know. It's intergenerational trauma that we don't know how to deal with. And sometimes it's pushed under the rug and like, you know, it's starting to affect the young people, our youth. And like that was my first time ever going to one of those things, that mental health panel, and hearing everybody speak about their stories. It was like, it's encouraging because in a way I struggled with that. And like hearing them speak about their story and they're not ashamed, they no longer carry that guilt that they once had. Like, you know, it's encouraging. And there's people like, you know, a lot of those stories touched my heart, and like sometimes I had to go outside just to take a deep breath because like I felt it.
Mhm.
And like the people that were speaking, people want to hear depth about the stories, not just the surface. They want to, you know, hear the details about it and how you got out and how it affected you and like how you're changed. That's something that I wanted to know, is I wanted to hear depth about the addictions that they struggled with and how they overcame it. Like Sama.
Yeah. Deadly. Aisha, Mercedes.
Like Lexi said, we want to bring more awareness to mental health because that is it's talked about but not enough. It's talked about for people to think about it every once in a while, but then to just push it to the side for the next time being. And I feel like if we constantly bring that up, if we like let people know that it's mental health is a big factor in today's time, and a lot of people stay quiet. A lot of people just ignore their feelings, and for to have that panel and for people to open up who had such vulnerable pasts, it like maybe that'll like spark people up into wanting to talk about their problems, their pasts and whatnot, and heal through that. And the more that more people talk about it, the less vulnerable they'll feel about it. So
Yeah. Sadie.
Unfortunately, I missed that day due to personal problems.
You didn't watch it?
No, as I have a busy schedule when I get home.
Yeah, no, it was cool. They had one in Lloyd about a month or two ago. The residents in recovery program, or you know, they hosted that, and Brian was one of the ones on the panel there. And me, Mitch, Tyler, I think, and Ray went to go support him. And the panel they had a judge, Judge Kreitzer. They had a RCMP representative, and then they had the panelists. Well, they were a part of the panel. I didn't know what to expect when I went over there. I knew it was gonna be good. But I just, you know, had no expectations. I wasn't expecting too much. But I knew it was gonna be good. So we went in, we went and found our seat, we sat and listened, and same thing. The stories were really powerful, really emotional, like hearing their journey, you know, and what they overcame and the impacts it had on their lives, their kids' lives, their families. Like like you said, Alexi, like how deep into the addiction they were. And like you guys said, like we all have family we can relate to in those kind of spaces, and the intergenerational trauma, the impacts of the 60s scoop in residential school, but even further back than that, like the treaties, even beyond that, just the whole like colonization. I think the impacts of that and how it trickled down generation after generation. And we see it, we see it all around us even today. And then seeing this panel the other day with Brian and all the guys that were on there, me and my baby were watching it at home. But she has no idea, right? She's 4 years old. She'd be looking at the screen, who's that? And she recognizes Brian and Mitch and Randall and Tyler. Yeah, she recognizes the boys. But yeah, same thing. Just really powerful stories, really emotional. And like I said, like everything you guys do makes me so proud. That made me really proud because we were able to kind of bring that to Onion Lake and host something like that and share that with our community. I was talking to Brian and them after that, and like how was it and stuff. And I said, like it was really good. It was awesome. I said more people will probably want to come out to the next one. And they said, yeah, already like there's people messaging they want to be a part of the next panel. So I think it's really cool. Like people, sometimes all people need is like a second chance. They just need someone to believe in them. They need people to believe that they're at the end of their line when it comes to living that lifestyle, and they want to get out of it now. They're tired of it. But because they burnt so many big bridges along the way, it's like people don't want to believe them now. But in their mind or in their heart, they're like ready now to make that next step or to kind of turn their life around. I think, and something we're trying to do, like we want to host more of those. I think on a monthly basis if we can. So for the viewers, if there's any recommendations or if you yourself would like to participate in something like that, to come share your story, reach out to one of us, and it'll be an ongoing kind of project for our crew, this program. I think it's all about empowerment. It's all about education. It's about learning from our mistakes and sharing advice on the mistakes we made, especially for the young people in our community. But yeah, it was really powerful and really special. And I'm really glad that we were able to do that. I'm really proud of all the panelists and us, like you guys, being able to live stream that and be a part of that. I really do hope to see more of that, and it is something on our radar. So, yeah, just thumbs up to everybody out there. We're almost done here.
Before we move on,
Yeah.
I just wanted to say we should do those like mental health panels, like you said, monthly instead of waiting for Now Week. That's once a year in November. If we do it every month or like every few months, it creates a safe place for those that that want to share their story. What if it builds courage for them each time that they go or like they watch it? What they say is like, it takes a community to raise a child, but what if it takes a community to heal one too?
Yeah, that's so true. Because what I wanted to touch base on during that time, them sharing their stories and opening up about that, it doesn't only give people with addictions hope, but people's children, because a lot of this generation is dealing with their parents and addictions, and wondering if they're going to come back, wondering if it's possible that they can come back, and to have them up there and prove that point, it's like it really it gives hope. And it's because for me, like I got emotional through it because my parents are both in addiction, and to see that Brian came this far, and knowing his past, he like it's possible, and then, like, it made me feel really like relieved. Yeah, I think we should have that space where people like youth can come and talk on about it during those panels,
Mm.
and how they feel, because I feel like they're not being seen, and they deserve to be seen, because they're in a way the addiction is affecting their life too.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything you want to add, Sadie?
I just had a brain fart.
Real stinky.
Okay. Okay. So, couple more things. Karaoke. Could we talk about that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like
Yeah.
that's
Floor is open. Go ahead.
karaoke. I feel like is what brought us all together. Like a lot of us started off really shy, but me and Lexi kind of paved that way for people to just go out there and sing. And even if like it like became a fun space for us where we could all come out. And I think that's part of the reason why we're all so good with each other, is because we had that moment where we can just be ourselves. And like even Joseph, the first time he was so shy, he didn't want to come out, and we all just kept encouraging him, like, go sing, go sing. And finally he went out and sang a song, and we are all just like laughing, having a good time. It was good medicine. Yeah.
Yeah. Sadie or Lexi, any thoughts about all of that?
Mm, for me, singing is healing, and that's why like I sing so much. It's because it's how I express myself. It's how I release emotions and whatnot. I love singing. It's what got me here. And seeing everybody sing, like especially Joseph, because like he was such a shy guy. Like when we first met him, he was just like real standoff and just
I remember when I said hi, like when he first came to work, I said hi to him. He didn't say hi back, and I was like, oh, but he's always wearing his headphones. So he's always
and like singing is what got everybody out of their shells. Eventually, we're gonna get Sadie out of her shell.
yeah.
But she sang one time. She was like La Bamba.
Out of the blue. The whole song too.
La Bamba.
That was deadly.
Anything else? Alexi?
Yeah, and I feel like we should like do more karaoke nights. Bring the community together, and like we should like post posters about it too.
Yeah.
So more people show up, and like then we'll have door prizes or prizes for the people that do sing. And like one of these days we should host not one of these, but like a big talent show.
Yeah, where
Yeah.
people with all talents can come out and express themselves through that. Because there's a lot of people with talents out there, especially voices. So the last karaoke night we had quite a few people, and I was surprised because a lot of people sing, and to have that space where they can come and sing, that'll be really good for the community. Especially, it's like something for the youth to do.
Mm-hmm. There was over 40 singers there, and then we didn't even
Yeah.
get through most of them. We only got to like 29.
Really?
Yeah, there was a lot of people that showed up.
That was that Halloween one, eh?
Yeah.
None of us dressed up. We just forgot.
Busy.
Yeah.
Deadly. What about Voices of the North? What if we did something like that?
That would be
That
really
was
good.
I was thinking that too, like say Voices of the Valley or Prairie.
Yeah.
And like I don't think I've ever been to a talent show where it was broadcasted on Facebook or YouTube. So that'd be something.
Yeah.
And like say if like there is people from different communities that do come, then their families from home can watch it,
Yeah.
you know.
American Idol.
Exactly.
We'll be there with the buzzers.
That'll be Joseph buzzing it.
Buzzing for real.
We'll do voices of the onion. Just kidding. But yeah, no, the karaoke. Yeah, I remember that. That's kind of where Alexi started, right?
Yeah.
At the grandstand up here. Um, but yeah, no. Keep doing that. Like for real, keep doing it. Just let people know. Like you guys said, like the advertising ahead of time. Give people a heads up. They could start prepping for it and coming out. We'll keep providing like supper and prizes, so don't worry about that. The posters, Jaren could do that if you guys just get him the info. Coordinate through Mitch, or if you guys want to just reach out to him, he could get posters out. And yeah, and I seen it. I seen what it done for this program and for everybody. So yeah, let's keep doing it. We just have to like juggle it into our work schedule, right? But yeah, something we'll keep with this program. Voices of the North. Yeah, like maybe we should actually do one for Christmas. We could put a big prize, like say, I don't know, say $5,000, I think that would draw people out from other communities and come and like battle it out. That'd be crazy.
That'd be just deadly.
Okay, so moving on. We're almost done here. I have a question here for you guys. I'm not too sure if you guys are aware of the high school. The high school has been having meetings in the past couple weeks, and they've been kind of reaching out to other programs and departments, like seeking assistance on how can we help the high school, how can we be more involved in the high school, um just to help the students like with getting out of their shell and making sure they're coming to school, going to class, doing their homework, making learning fun. Do you guys have any thoughts or ideas around that? Like what can we do more of, or what can we try in the school to connect with the students? Not sure if you guys are aware, but we have Monday, Wednesday, Friday booked in the school. Every noon hour, 12:20 to 1:15. Today we're actually there at 12:20, doing a like high school podcast. And then we also have 3:30 to 5 o'clock blocked off in the high school. So we could do like after school programming Monday, Wednesday, Friday. um so that's in place. The next kind of step to that is, how do we fill in these time slots with something that's educational, something that's I guess that helps the students. So I kind of want to put that out there. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts or ideas. I was thinking like one thing, like during the noon hour one, we could do like a karaoke during lunch.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Me and Lexi were talking about that beforehand. Like when we were there last time, we kind of just had a bunch of open space and like nothing really to do. So we do
Yeah.
need to figure out things to do while we're over there with the high school. We could do those things like trivia, make up things like games that could go on live, and like they could be educational questions or just like fun questions about the community. And then, like you said, karaoke. I feel like that's one thing that brings a lot of people together because it brought us together. And for something like that, for kids wanting to be involved, I think that'd be very interesting.
Yeah. Sadie or Lexi.
Poker nights.
Teach them gambling, girl.
Start them young. Kidding. I don't know. I like card games, you know. I feel like
Yeah.
it's a nice way to communicate and to connect to someone or people, even if it's in a big group.
Yeah.
Sometimes silence is okay, you know, just sitting there and like at least you're present.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I was telling Mitch, maybe we should bring, or he should bring his guitar one day and during lunch hour or whatever, and kind of just occupy that big opening there and just start playing music and see what it does. And he was thinking, and I agree with him. He said there's probably a lot of talent in the school. There's probably a lot of good singers here, and there's probably a lot of good musicians in here that we don't know about. I think we just have to provide the space and give them a chance and kind of just see if we can kind of tap into that a little bit.
Yeah. Like things like art shows, or yeah, like for people wanting to display their art around, we could do things like that, or show and tells, things within the
Yeah,
schools.
yeah, like that.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Anything else?
I think that those are all great ideas and everything. They could help, but we can only put so much things in front of them and with them. But we gotta ask what they want and stuff, what they need.
That's true.
And I was just thinking maybe go try talking to them, see what they want in particular, what they need, what they want to do, what they want to see. Because I have somewhat connections in the high school still.
Like have like a little meeting
Yeah,
with them. Hmm.
just, sit down and let them talk and be freely about what they want.
Yeah. Cool. I like that. Okay. Anything else on that one?
I think that's everything.
Okay. Okay. So 2 more. This is kind of long, but it's okay. I don't mind. Hopefully you guys don't mind. The election. You guys have any thoughts on that?
Oh,
It's right. Okay, I'll be right back.
I think a lot of people are just like even though things happen for a reason, and even though like things can be scary, just to trust the process, believe in your people, because being against each other won't work out at all. And if you just support, even though a lot of people don't trust a lot of people, that's where it's breaking. You got to have that trust and trust the process. So yeah.
Yeah. Sadie.
I just think that so many people were like bashing other people, and that was not like good community wise and everything like that. Like
Yeah,
it was crazy this year, and
it really was. It was I was scared.
and just people need to be there for one another. Like no one's above each other, no one's below each other. We're all on the same level.
Mhm.
We come in as
Oh.
a spirit and we leave as a spirit. We take nothing with us.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah. Yeah, just going back to the whole campaign period, and we're under our like own band custom election, right? Band custom or election code. Um, and by design, the elders from the past, when they were creating this law, they intentionally minimized the campaign period to as least amount of time as possible, which happens to be 2 weeks. Just because of how tense and how bad it can be and how bad it can get. So, I just want to just shout out to the elders from our past for designing it that way, because it is a really tough time. It's a tough thing to go through for our people, especially our kids and social media, our young people, and the kids of the candidates. And there's a lot of like mudslinging and things like that. Um, and it's like, I think it's like that everywhere. It's a competitive thing. um there's a lot of emotions attached to something like that, especially for leadership for our community, because the impacts and decisions made from that table, they affect all of us, whether we agree with it or not, whether we want to participate in it or not. Either way, the decisions and processes have an effect on us in one way or another, especially when it comes to the future of our kids. So, you know, I get it. I get all of that. And it is competitive. I get that. Um, and I think this election is a really important one for our community, just because of what's going on out there with government legislation and things like that, and treaty erosion. um and not only that, but you look at the statistics, our population. um I think the majority of our population in Onion Lake, both on and off reserve, and I think this is true for all our communities in this day and age, majority of our population is young, younger versus older. um and there was a lot of comments around language and ceremonies, high expectations from membership to the candidates to be heavily involved in those spaces and in those circles. um and I think, like, imagine the next election will be in 4 years. It'll be 2029. We'll all be 4 years older from what we are right now, everybody out there. And you look at the 18-year-olds of today, and you look at the 14-year-olds of today. So the 14-year-olds of today are probably in high school, maybe junior high, I'm not sure. But in 4 years' time, you're they're gonna be eligible to vote and to run and to participate in elections. And one of the struggles right now in the schools and with programming in the community with that age bracket is, there's a high number of people in that age group. So every year, our younger population grows. When they reach 18 years old, that number increases every year. That seems to be the trend. So in 4 years' time, imagine how many more young people we're gonna have here that are gonna be voting and running and all of that, right? And then you look at the concerns from the membership, the language and the ceremonies. That number who participate in those spaces and have those skills, I think right now the trend is saying we're decreasing year after year, but the expectation is growing year after year, right? So there's a huge gap there, and there's a huge kind of issue there. um so what do we do about that? you know um I think naturally we all expect our leadership to solve all of our problems, our housing problems, and replacing windows and doorknobs at home, to teach us Cree, to put us in ceremonies, to put our kids in ceremonies, to get Indian names, Cree names, to you know feed us, put food in our fridge, and all this and that, right? Those are high expectations.
They are. They're kind of like I don't want to sound cross anybody's toes, but like a lot of things that people come at with chief and council is personal problems that we should be able to solve ourselves, that we should be able to work through by ourselves, because in the end, chief and council like they protect the nation. That's kind of what their job is, and like for people to expect so much from them, it is a lot of expectation, and like I feel like it takes a lot away from what we're really trying, like what they're really trying to work towards.
Mhm. Yeah. So there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of gray areas, like, is it fair? Are those fair expectations? Do we want them? How involved do we want them in the community? Because on the one hand, I hear a lot of wording or messaging around like micromanaging and stuff like that. The other one, like expecting them to fix their housing needs. I don't know if that means coming in with a tool belt and changing things, or like how far do they want to go with that, right? On the other hand, what about the bigger picture? What about when it comes to fighting the government? When it comes to fighting legislation, do we want them present there, or do we want them over here? You know, what is more important? What has a higher return on investment for us present, but also for the future, right? There's a lot of questions out there like that. But I think at the end of the day, like you guys mentioned, the intergenerational trauma, it's still something we're working on growing out of that and healing, and hopefully providing healthier spaces for our kids to disagree, to try and find solutions for the problems that matter. And I think our elders and our leaders of the past have always gotten it right in terms of focusing on the treaties at that level, dealing with the feds and the province and international and things like that. So yeah, it's not all black and white. There's a lot of gray in there. And I think the best thing we could do, you guys, especially young ladies, is just to keep educating our youth and to keep showcasing what's going on in the community, to keep showcasing the teachings from the elders, to keep providing those spaces and to keep having these types of discussions so that we're touching on things that are not always openly being discussed. I think if we can provide spaces for that, it'll allow people to make more informed decisions, and just kind of be in alignment with the visions of our ancestors, especially when it comes to treaty. 7 generations. I think we're in that time frame, so I think it's time to revisit the 7 generational vision again. What do we want for the next 7 generations from today, right? And I think a lot of people agree that it's the same as 7 generations ago, which is language, culture, identity, ceremony, and all of that. Talking about it is one thing, but acting on it is another thing.
Yeah.
Like how many of us are actually doing that, right? And it's easy to attack people on that. for whatever reasons and purposes, right? So that's a higher like that, those are discussions that people have just in general. So one of the cool things with us in this program here is I think we're more about action. We're more action based, action focused, and trying to, empower our youth and not worry too much about those types of things, and just allowing our leadership to continue dealing with that, and us just keep paving a way for our young people to strengthen themselves and just heal, I guess, and become better people, right? Better people than we are now. Better, yeah. So I'll leave it at that. Yeah, it's a touchy subject, but congrats to all the new winners, new chief, 3 new council, 5 returning council. I think exciting times for our community, and I think our future looks bright. With all the candidates that ran, it shows we have a lot of resources out there that our program can tap into and try to find a way to utilize them in our this program. Could be language podcasts, could be whatever it is, right? So just some ideas for you guys, especially being young ladies in the community. So last thing, finally, at the end of this, women's podcast or an all-female podcast, how does that look moving forward? How does that look forward, like looking ahead? How does that look to you guys, the woman's podcast or a woman's program?
To me, I see it as like expanding through more women that have empowerment. So that like not like talking to them, bringing them on the podcast, um, hearing what they have to say about empowering women and youth, and just things like that, touching base with the women in our community that have a lot to say, that want to speak on things. Like I feel like we can start bringing more people on the podcast, and we've been doing that, but like locals, so they can be heard too. And yeah.
Sadie or Alexi?
I think it would be a great idea, empowering women and young ladies to talk more. Yeah, I'm kind of still processing this morning.
Still waking up,
Yeah.
shaking it off. Alexi.
What was the question again?
When you're looking forward into the future with this program, how does the woman's podcast look to you? Or how would you guys,
Vision it?
because you guys are the ones kind of driving that, right? How does that look moving forward to you guys? Or how can we have more episodes with women, like the women's podcast?
It's looking bright, but we actually have a podcast episode that's going to be coming up next week, I think on Tuesday, and we're going to touch a lot of topics like addictions and mental health awareness and things that we struggled with. And this is only the process. This is only the beginning of this crew. Like I remember hearing this quote that we walk so you guys can run. And that's what we're doing right now. We're paving this path. We're trailblazers. Is that it? Yeah. And for the new females, for the future people that are going to be joining this crew, it's going to be easier. then they'll have more guidance, because us, we kind of just came in here blindsided and we didn't really know what to do.
Which direction we were going.
Yeah, but eventually we found our way, and we're still finding our way.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited for what this crew is going to become, because already it's great. Just imagine next year, a couple years down the line. And like, for the podcast crew to be called 7th Gen, growing up, I always heard that the 7th Gen is going to be the generation that rises, that's going to be
Yeah.
overcoming the intergenerational trauma that we face today. And like, in a way, I feel like we're setting a great example, because we overcame a lot of things in our own personal lives just to be here. And that, for me, I'm no longer ashamed of it. It's made me who I am, and I'm proud of it. We have a interview next, I think it's in 2 weeks time, with one of our community members, and that's Trista Badger. And I'm really looking forward to that, because she's a great aspiration to look up to. She's a role model to me. She's many things. And stay tuned for that episode.
Yeah. Be a good one.
Yeah. Anything else? Okay. Yeah, so that's all I had for today. I'd like to show a video to end the episode. It's the one Mitch made. Before we go, I was thinking, can we have a little round table just with some closing thoughts or comments or words of encouragement for anybody out there? We could start to my right, Miss Aisha.
Okay. So, I just wanted to talk about a name for our podcast. Because we haven't chosen one yet. I have a couple written down here that so the girls can see, like, the girls out there too. Because I feel like we need a name now. Her voice, her choice. There's ladies in lead. 7th Gen rising woman. This one's kind of like, I don't know. This one is just thought. It's like the way she goes. You ever hear that saying? Like, people talk about, they'll be like, if things go sideways or like things don't go straight, they'll be like, oh, that's just the way she goes. But then there's females rising. But those are just all some name ideas that I thought of. If you guys have any to bring to the table, do that, and we'll all come together and choose one. And for closing remarks, for any words of advice, just keep being you, keep shining. Don't be afraid to be yourself, because that's what all got us here. Being ourselves and coming together. It really combined us, and the diversity within our crew. It just shows like we're all different people, but we can work together, and I really love that. Yeah.
Right on. Hey. Sadie.
Agmemuk. That's probably it for now.
Right on. Hey. Alexi.
Thank you for watching. We had eight steady viewers this whole time.
Yeah.
So thank you for your time. Staying to hear what we have to say. And there's going to be plenty more of episodes in the future. So stay tuned. Have a good day, beautiful onioners.
Yeah. Right on. Okay. In closing, I just want to show this video that the boys made of you guys for the viewers. You guys probably seen it already. But I think it'd be a good way to close this episode. Yeah, so here we are. Hopefully you guys could hear this out there. Hey, yo, hey. Hey, baby, hey, hey. Hey, baby,
Hello, my name is Alexi Bull.
Hello, my name is Aisha Bull.
My name is Darcy Chief.
My voice was never heard. I always felt small, and coming here, it's like a new learning aspect for me because I'm learning how to use my voice. I'm learning how to take up space in a room. I'm learning how not to be afraid and to just keep going when you don't feel confident in yourself.
It feels like we have a voice and we can do something about that and make a change with it. I'm gonna take it very seriously because I have a daughter and I want her to look up to me as someone who made a change in the world, and someone who like who stands strong as a woman.
I want this podcast to speak to indigenous people who might feel disconnected and know that they can give back, and that there is a welcome community here. You can get into these spaces, but you gotta be sure of your place.
Lexi out.
Right on. I don't know if they heard that. Hope you guys did out there. But anyway, with that, thanks ladies for doing this, for sharing some time with me and everybody out there. Looking forward to the next one. And I think with that, we'll shut it down. We wish you all a good day out there. I think we're off to the high school next, right? Okay.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
All right. See you guys. Have a good day out there and a good weekend. Be safe.
Say Fraser
Bye.
out.